Alright, welcome back to the channel, guys and gals. Today we are having the final session in OU with this team. You guys know this team by now. I'll just flash it up on screen really quick while I'm talking. But since last video was so damn short, I'm going to make it up to you guys. This video, you're going to have two battles, much like the first battle video that I posted on the channel with two battles. And both battles in this video kind of ended up the same way, as you'll notice. So I just decided to bundle them together. So my first opponent is actually my girlfriend in the OU tier. Looking at her team, she's got the Landorus T, which is like the OU staple. She's got the Blacephalon, Rotom Wash, Staraptor, which is pretty neat to see in OU, the Alolan Ninetales, and the Mega Pinsir. So at first glance of her team is really severely weak to rocks, and I definitely wanted to take advantage of that this battle. So the battle begins. I'm going to lead off with my Greninja for what seems like the billionth time, as my opponent is going to lead off with their Landorus, and my opponent actually knows my entire team. She's played this team a couple times on Showdown, so I'm kind of at a disadvantage, but it's alright. So my opponent's going to swap out into her Rotom, and I'm going to go for the U-turn just to try and maintain momentum here. And I'm going to bring out my boy Stewart here, the Shuckle. And this was actually kind of a risky play, because depending on what Rotom she is, she could actually 2-hit KO me with Hydro Pump. And we'll see here, thankfully she's actually more of a defensive Rotom, and that Hydro Pump is not a 2-hit KO, which is going to allow me to set up some Stealth Cocks, and I don't have to worry because I'm able to set up some Sticky Webs here as well. So we'll see here also she eats some leftovers, which once again confirms she is a defensive Rotom. So here I'm able to set up some Sticky Webs. My opponent goes for another Hydro Pump. I live on 3 fucking HP, and for whatever reason, I went for Encore. I don't know if I misclicked or whatever. This battle was a couple days ago, but I definitely should have just gone for the final Gambit there. But my opponent is unfortunately going to miss another Hydro Pump, and I'm able to go for the final Gambit and basically just sack off my Rotom there. Here, I'm going to bring out Pinhead Larry. Who you calling a Pinhead? That was such a bad imitation. I'm sorry. And my opponent is going to bring out the Staraptor and take some... gonna get some dicking from the Stealth Rocks there, and the Giga Drain, so Staraptor is not looking too hot over there. She's actually gonna swap out, oddly enough, back into the Rotom, and I know that Celesteela is kind of bulky, and I could probably take a Volt Switch, but I kind of don't want to. So I'm gonna bring out the Garchomp here, and I kind of make a derpy play here. I probably should have not gotten my Garchomp burned, but for whatever fucking reason, I Mega Evolve and go for the Dragon Claw. And this Rotom is quite bulky, and now she's going to go for the Will-O-Wisp. So now one of the bigger threats on my team is fucking burned, and I don't know why I did that. That was definitely not one of the better plays I made this battle for sure. And here I'm just going to go for the Swords Dance, effectively putting me back up to neutral. And my opponent is unfortunately going to go for the Defog, getting rid of both my entry hazards, which really kind of sucks because she... like I said before, a lot of her team is really quite weak to rocks. So, and I already lost Shuckle, so I can't get rocks up this game. So that really blows. Now my opponent is going to bring out the Landorus, getting the Intimidate, and that's going to basically put me at -1. But I go for another SD, effectively putting me at +1, and I go for a Dragon Claw. And we saw in a previous battle how much a +1 Dragon Claw does to Landorus. And I guess hers is a little bit more bulky, but my opponent misplays, and she goes for the SD, and I outspeed her. So she doesn't want to lose her Landorus. She's actually going to swap out into the Alolan Ninetales now, setting up the Hail. And unfortunately for me, I go for another Dragon Claw there, and obviously being a Fairy type, she's immune to that. And she's just going to go for the Freeze Dry there, and that is going to kill off Garchomp. So I definitely could have played my Garchomp better, but it's whatever at this point. So here, I'm going to bring out Zeraora, as my opponent is going to bring out the Lando. I probably should have seen that coming. I probably should have just gone straight for the HP Ice. But I went for Plasma Fist, and I don't have to worry because I know I'm going to outspeed this thing. So I'm just going to go for the HP Ice now, and that is going to kill off the Landorus. So now I don't have to worry about this thing setting up rocks on me, which is definitely always a good thing. So here my opponent is going to bring back out the Ninetales as I go for the Volt Switch, and that's actually going to do a decent amount considering I only have 6, or no, sorry, this is a different Zeraora. I have 64 in special attack or whatever, so that actually did a decent amount. So here, unfortunately for me, she's going to set up the Aurora Veil, which is basically like a souped up version of Light Screen and Reflect at the same time. It's fucking wild. And here I'm just going to bring out Mimikyu and go for the SD as she breaks my disguise. And basically I'm just going to go for the Play Rough here. She's going to go for a Moonblast. She outspeeds me. It's not going to do too much, and lol, I live on 69 HP. I seem to live on 69 HP all the time. I don't know. It's just, I guess it's just a weird thing that happens to me. I guess it's just some kind of coincidence. But anyway, she's going to go out into her Pinsir now and Mega Evolve, and I just go for a Shadow Sneak here because I know for a fact I am not going to be able to outspeed this thing without the Sticky Webs. So she's going to go for the Return, and that is going to fucking annihilate my Mimikyu, Jesus Christ. And here I'm just going to bring out Celesteela, and I know I can take pretty much anything this thing wanted to do, but luckily for me, she actually swaps out as a go for Air Slash. I probably should have just gone for the Autotomize, but I know that I can definitely take a Volt Switch from this Rotom easily, so I'm actually going to go ahead and set up the Autotomize now, as my opponent does go for Volt Switch, and yeah, I actually lived that really well considering I'm not a bulky set at all, and it was super effective. So now my opponent is going to bring out the Blacephalon. I actually get a crit on an Air Slash, but unfortunately for my opponent, she actually misclicks. She definitely should have gone for the fire attack there, but she goes for Calm Mind, and I'm able to land a second Air Slash and kill off Blacephalon. So that was probably the biggest misplay my opponent made, and honestly probably what cost her the game completely. Because now Celesteela is here, is now, and Staraptor does not stand a ghost of a chance, and another Air Slash is going to kill that thing. And Celesteela is basically on a roll at this point with the Metronome and the Beast Boost, so I'm just going to Air Slash this thing too. And because of the Autotomize, I'm essentially going to be able to outspeed the entirety of my opponent's team, and I'm basically just going to keep getting these Beast Boosts, and that's pretty much how this battle goes, unfortunately for my opponent. And I believe her last mon is this Rotom, but anyway, good game, Bay. We will definitely rematch again, and yeah, I don't know. My opponent's team was really, really weak to rock, so I think my opponent should do a little bit better job team building, because, not to knock her, I mean, I love her to death, but that team was not the greatest I've ever seen. But anyway, onward to the next battle. Alright, on to the second battle in this video, and this is a guy that I found on a battling Discord, and forgive me, I have no idea how to say this man's name, so I'm not even going to try it, but he has a pretty interesting looking team. So he's got the Rotom Wash, Gengar, Tornadus, Ambipom, which is a really interesting mon. So this mon is, it's kind of been all over the place this gen. It dropped to as low as NU, I think, and then it went back up to UU because of Pokeaim doing like some series on it. But yeah, Ambipom's been all over the place, but it's definitely one of those mons that can work well in any tier. Just because of its playstyle. It's like a hit and run type mon. Next he has Diancie, and because of like the look of his team, I wasn't sure if it's going to be like a Mega Diancie or not, just because he has weird shit like Ambipom and Darmanitan and OU. But anyway, his last mon, as I said before, is Darmanitan, and I just don't think Darmanitan is as effective in OU. I mean, it's still a threat. I mean, it has like base 140 attack, so it's definitely nothing to fuck with, but just with things like Landorus and stuff in the tier, I just don't think Darmanitan's as effective, but it's still something to watch out for sure. So the battle begins. My opponent's going to lead off with his Rotom, as I'm going to actually lead off with Stewart this time. So obviously this is not the greatest of situations for me, as my opponent's going to go straight for the Hydro Pump. And we'll see here, it's actually a 3-hit KO as opposed to a 2-hit KO, which tells me he's definitely more defensive than offensive. So that's going to allow me to somewhat freely get up some Stealth Cocks here, and my opponent kind of makes a questionable play by swapping into his Diancie, which is going to allow me to also set up the Sticky Webs on the swap. Now, arguably, my opponent would have been in a much better position had he led off with Diancie in the first place, because when Diancie Mega Evolves, it gets Magic Bounce, so I wouldn't have been able to set up hazards. I would have had to swap and take a massive hit from this thing. So unfortunately for me, he is going to Mega Evolve and go for the Diamond Storm and kill off Stewart, but Stewart did a fantastic job getting up both hazards. I really could not have asked for more. Good on you, Stewart. So here I'm going to bring out Greninja to scare out his Diancie. as my opponent brings in the Rotom. For whatever reason, I went for Surf here. I don't know what the hell I was thinking. I definitely would have been better off going for the U-turn there. I guess what I was thinking, maybe he would think that he would outspeed me and go for the fairy move, and then I'd outspeed him because I'm scarfed and kill him off. I don't know what I was thinking, but I guess that's what I was going for. But anyway, he brings in Rotom. He goes for the Will-O-Wisp as I swap out into my Celesteela, and honestly, had Celesteela have to have some status condition, I probably would rather it be the burn. It's definitely not the end of the world, so now my opponent's going to swap out into the Ambipom. Ambipom's going to take some entry hazards and stuff as I set up the Autotomize on the swap, and of course he's going to go for the Fake Out here, and unfortunately for me, also get some burn chip damage off on me as well. So here, I'm just going to go for the Giga Drain. I'm actually a little bit surprised at how little this Giga Drain does to Ambipom. Ambipom is like paper thin frail. I was honestly expecting a lot more damage than that. So here he's going to go for the knockoff and knock off my Metronome, which kind of sucks because it actually matters here. So we'll see. I go for a second Giga Drain, and because he knocked off my Metronome, it's not going to kill the fucking Ambipom. So that fucking sucks. So now he's going to swap out and bring out Abby, which is this Diancie. So my opponent actually makes a decent play here. He swaps back out into the Ambipom here. And the reason he does this is because the entry hazards are going to kill him. Thus, I don't get a Beast Boost. And also, I take some extra burn damage as well. So that was a pretty good play by my opponent. But alas, it's going to be for naught because my man Celesteela came to fucking party. So he brings out his Rotom for some fucking reason. I honestly don't know why, but I'm just going to go for the Giga Drain there and kill off the Rotom, as it is super effective, and we'll get my first of many Beast Boosts here, and not to mention a lot of health back, which is going to help me surviving this burn. So now my opponent's going to bring out the Gengar, and Gengar actually got nerfed this gen. It no longer has Levitate, so he is going to be affected by the Sticky Webs. I'm going to outspeed. I probably would have outsped anyway because of the Autotomize, but Sticky Web definitely helps. So I'm going to go for the Air Slash and kill off his Gengar, getting a second Beast Boost. So now my opponent is going to bring out the Tornadus, and I'm just going to go straight for the Air Slash once again and kill off his Tornadus as well. So Celesteela is taking fucking lives right now, and I'm at my third Beast Boost now. I am taking some pretty serious damage from that burn though. So now my opponent is going to bring in Son Goku, which is his Darmanitan, and I'm just going to Air Slash this thing too and kill that as well. So I believe that is 4 Beast Boosts for your boy here. And it's funny, I actually had a battle on Pokemon Showdown with this team, and I missed 3 Air Slashes in one battle. It's a 5% chance to miss. That is fucking wild. But luckily for me, I don't miss this battle. And his last mon is this Diancie. I just go for the safe Giga Drain. And that is game. So Celesteela just ran a damn train through this boy's team. Good lord. And that is a wrap. So good game, whatever your name is. Again, I don't know how to say it, but yeah. If you guys enjoyed this video, leave a like. Follow me on Facebook and Twitter. Links as always are in the description below. Subscribe, hit that bell so you never miss any content. I love you guys, and peace out.